let's talk about the focus flow point. So this is for anyone who, like me, this is something that over and over again I keep being reminded of. If I don't start my day with a clear plan of what I want to get done or what I'm going to focus on, I will just get to the end of the day and go, what did I even do? If this is also something that you struggle with, please know that this has been created with you in mind. So I know that we can have 50 million tabs open and we always have something to do as solopreneurs, and that is really the key thing here. If there is always going to be more things to add to the to-do list and that to-do list can never get done, how can I just be liberated by that? Be understanding there is always going to be more to do, because it can get, I've noticed over time, people that I've talked to, that it can get really disheartening when you realize that there is just more things. You tick things off and then you add new things on. And if you can embrace the fact that this is what running a business looks like, you are going to be so free and liberated by that. That is why the focus flow point exists. Now, this is a codified version of something that Nick Peterson, who his book Bumpers, I've talked about a few times in here before, he talks about quite a bit. And it is around this idea of, I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head what he refers to it as. It is nowhere near as cozy as focus flow point. It is more immediate constraint. What is your immediate constraint? And he talks about it like a kink in your hose, that we can kind of see all the different things we need to get done, where we want to be, and what we need to focus on is our immediate constraint, our first kink in the hose. Because if we fix all of these ones further down the line, but we haven't fixed the first one right in front of us, we are still not going to get that flow happening. So this is the focus flow point. I will always acknowledge that I learned about this from him, and I have just created a cozier version because I hate the idea of immediate constraints. The focus flow point is identifying the one task, decision, or tiny shift that, if addressed, makes everything else clearer, easier, or possible. It's not always the biggest or most obvious thing. It's often the thing that needs to happen first to let your energy or ideas flow again, to be able to move through to the next thing on your list. So sometimes it's an obvious move, like I need to send that email today, or I need to finish my sales page. And other times it's an enabling step that, in order for me to send an email to my list about my new offer, I actually have to set up the calendar. I have to set up how they're going to pay me. One of the questions that I ask my clients all the time when they are just starting their businesses, those who are early in their journey, is, if somebody said to you tomorrow, I want to work with you, do you have those pieces in place to be able to make that happen? Now, in the entrepreneur, solopreneur journey, a lot of the times we're going, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. Now I have to figure out what I need to do to make that happen quickly. And that is how I've learned just about everything. But when we have a bit of a plan, we can also realize, like, this is the thing I want to do. Oh, but I have to figure out this step first. And so that is the thing I'm going to focus on today. What we tend to do, though, is we go, oh, I'll add that to my plate. I'll add that to my plate. I'll add that to my plate. And then all of a sudden we have this huge big plate. No wonder we're overwhelmed. No wonder we don't want to do anything. No wonder it doesn't feel like we're getting anywhere in our business. So this is about going, I'm going to focus on one thing today. I'm going to focus on the one thing that is going to move the needle the most, that's going to have the biggest impact, and that is going to, like, move that boulder out of the way so that I can get back into flow. Why this helps is because, and this is a conversation we literally just had on Emerge and Expand with one of the members, who was deciding between, should I go down the route of creating a store and digital products, or should I go down the route of creating an offer and a personal brand? And we spent about 20 minutes going back and forth, where we were identifying for her what were the things that she really wants this business to be. What are the things that she can see herself doing every day? And when we identify these pieces, it can help us to get out of overthinking mode. If you have been around this week, you will know that I'm in my underthinking era, and I am embodying the energy of that so that I can flow that into all of you as well. And so it feels really timely to come back to the focus flow point, which I shared first in the Clarity course earlier this year. And I wanted to come back around and create a way for you to experience this and learn about it and be aware of it without having to necessarily go back through and watch all of those trainings. So When you don't know your focus flow point, your brain gets into a loop of, I should do this, but maybe I should do this. And there's also this, and oh, that person's doing that. So maybe I should do this. And this person talked about this. So maybe I should do this. Keep adding things to our plate. I want to launch, but what should I say? Do I have a link? What emails do I need to write? What social media posts should I be doing? All of the things just keep piling up. And then we'll do things like, oh, maybe I'll just reorganize these folders. Maybe I'll just go and design something in Canva. And we then go off track and don't focus on the thing that we actually really want and need to do in our business that's going to move the needle. Having a daily focus flow point keeps you from spiraling or stalling. It keeps you there. I mean, I'm a fan of side quests. I love them. I'm a big fan. But we want to make sure that if we're going on a side quest, it is either still moving us in the direction of our goals, still moving the needle in our business, still having a positive impact, and the energy and the time, the resources that we are investing into doing that. And I really always say, when you are having a low energy day, but you still want to do something that is maybe slightly different, that is a really good time to be reorganizing folders and things. But and resting is always a good plan as well. But if we can really start to lock into this, even like 40% of the time, even just starting to do it one day a week, if you can start to really focus on this, it's going to make a massive difference for you. Now, you'll know I'm a fan of the daily check-in. The way that I talk about this, we have it in the Embrace Your Pace planner. Let me just pull that up. If you haven't grabbed it, it is in the classroom. It is actually the easiest place to find it is in the resources area down here, the resource library. It is the Embrace Your Pace planner. And you will know that I bring this up all the time. I talk about this planner so much because I've got so many Notion dashboards. I've bought fancy paper planners, all of the things. This is the one that I keep coming back to. But you'll know in here, we have a daily check-in where we check our energy. Then we make sure that the tasks we're doing are aligned with the energy that we have for the day, because there will become a point where if you keep doing things like, say you're doing a daily life for 365 days and you do not have, and that takes, I think doing lives is like 5-star energy. It takes 5, it's like the top of the energy output, but you're a 2, like 9 days out of 10, you're going to get to a point where you are over capacity every single day and you just run out of steam. So we want to check in with our energy. We want to make sure that our tasks are as aligned with our energy as possible. Then we want to also check back in, and this is why in the planner there's a goal section, there's a current focus section, there's your daily tasks, your weekly tasks, and then your energy check-in and your day-to-day stuff is in here. What you then want to do is you ask yourself, what is the smallest step that clears the path to what I want today? And this is how I decide to fill in those boxes. I figure out what my energy is and I go, what is the next step? What is going to clear the path to what I want today? What is going to move the needle the most in my business? What is my goal? So say, for example, your goal is to sign a new client or to be growing your Instagram or growing your email list. Focus on one clear thing, knowing that when we do one thing, guess what? It ripples out into other things. So you can have 6 different things that you want to grow or that you want to focus on. But really, if you focus on one, it will ripple into the other things. If you want to focus on growing your email, guess what? Your focus flow point, that might be your goal. Your focus flow point today is, what is one thing I can do that is going to get my freebie in front of new people, or that is going to tell people that they should come and join my email list? That is where we're going to start to really break down these bigger goals into tiny daily micro momentum steps. So what is my goal right now? What do I think I need to do today? So again, you might go, okay, well, my goal is to get one new client. But in order to do that, I'm going to send an email. But hang on a second. If somebody emailed me back and said, yes, I want to join, how would I get paid for that? Do I have a coaching agreement, or do I have the onboarding set up? And again, you might go, you know what? I'm going to figure it out as I go. That is absolutely fine. It is going rogue. It is, bootstrapping it, that is absolutely the way that I built my business. If that is not something that you feel okay doing, this is something that's going to help you. Before I send that email, I'm just going to make sure that if someone replies and says, yes, I'm in, I have that next step planned out. Because so often what we will do is we'll actually block ourselves from making that thing happen because we're not energetically aligned with it yet. We're not ready, we're not prepared, and then we will procrastinate all day and not send the email. So what do I think I need to do? Oh, I need to post about my offer. What do I maybe need to do before that? Is there something before that that I need to do? Sometimes you will figure out what you want to do and then you'll start and then you'll realize actually there's 2 other things I need to do before I can do this. We rearrange our day a little bit. I go, you know what? I'm going to send that email tomorrow. Or I'm going to try and send it this afternoon. But on the off chance that I don't get these 2 things done, then I'm going to do that tomorrow. That will be my focus flow point for tomorrow. Send the email. It allows us some grace. It allows us some space. But it also means that as we're taking these micro steps, we are getting out of our own way. We are moving those blocks out of the way so that we can keep flowing forward. And once you've done that thing once you've set up your payment system, once you've figured out how people are going to pay you, you then have that there every time. So you could send an email every week and suddenly this one boulder has been moved out of your little stream of moving forward. Is there a step before that I'm skipping? And then as a result of that question, what's really the thing that I need to focus on today? And that's when we can rearrange our schedule. Now, you may not know what that is. You may not know because you're doing something for the first time that there are steps that need to get done. And that is okay. Let's not overthink it. You can always come into the community and ask if you're not sure, or go ahead with the next thing that you think is right. It is going to make itself very apparent to you if you've missed a step. And that is okay. We learn by doing, right? If you ask yourself these questions and you're not sure, you don't know what you should be focusing on today, which I think is about at least 50% of people's problem, when they feel like they're not getting momentum, when they feel like they're not moving forward, when they feel like they're working really hard and not actually seeing any results, it is often because they don't know what to focus on. They don't know what is going to move the needle and have the impact for them. In that case, your focus flow point is figuring out your focus flow point. So if you don't know what your goal is, what you need to do today, if you cannot answer these questions, amazing. Your thing that you need to focus on is figuring out what you need to focus on. And that is what you're going to focus on until you figured it out, right? I hope that makes sense. So some example scenarios for you. I think I should email my list, but I realize that I don't have an offer or that I haven't finished my offer. I don't have a call to action. So today's focus flow is to draft my little call to action to add into my email. Scenario B, I want to start a YouTube channel, but I'm spiraling on what equipment I need, I've got to set up my whole channel and brand it and design it. I've got to buy a new mic. I've got to get a fancy camera. How am I going to edit it? If you're getting into your head about all those things and you're going down rabbit holes, researching all of the best equipment and all of that, this is how we simplify. How can I make this simple? How can I make it easy? How can it be joyful? How can it cost me no resources or as few resources as possible? Today's focus flow point, I'm going to record a 2-minute video on my phone just to test it, just to see if it's something I want to do. And if I can commit to doing that every week, my reward will be after 3 months, I will reward myself by buying the fancy mic, by getting a new light, by investing in whatever that's going to be the thing that helps you keep going. I cannot tell you how many people I see buy all the fancy equipment, do all the fancy expensive courses, spend all the time creating the branding and figuring out how the tech and all of the things. And then they do it once and then they stop. And they realize it's actually not what they wanted to do. So this is really good for anyone who is that way inclined. You want to buy everything, you want to have all the stuff, you want to start everything from scratch and have it all amazing, professional. How can we make this easy? How can we make it simple? How can I start today? And how can I use that as the investing and the joining a course or buying a piece of equipment, how can I use that as a reward if I make it to episode 10? If I make it and in 3 months I'm still excited about YouTube? Because otherwise we spend all the resources here, and if after a week or two you stop doing it or you don't enjoy it, or it doesn't get the traction that you want straight away, and then you just lose interest, you don't waste the resources because you're putting that off, right? And then another example is, again, I feel overwhelmed. I have no idea what to do. What am I supposed to do today? Again, going around in circles, that's when we can go into spirals of scrolling all day, of signing up to stuff that maybe isn't actually important or helpful for us right now. But, getting a bunch of low ticket items, offers, getting a bunch of, downloading a whole heap of freebies, doing the thing, going down the rabbit hole spiral. I feel overwhelmed. I have no idea what to do today. Your focus flow point is to figure out what you want to be focusing on. And so I've got a little resource for you, the decision map. It's actually just called the decision map now, I've decided, or the alignment check-in. So in the group, the alignment check-in is here. So it's going to help you to just get aligned with your business energetically, in yourself. You could do this. Your other option is to come in and do the checkpoint, the cozy checkpoint, which is going to help you figure out which pillar you want to focus on in your business. So they're kind of different. They serve two different purposes. The alignment check-in is other things I'm doing in my business. Is my business in alignment with my needs, my strengths, my energy? The cozy checkpoint, let me just see where I've put it. I'm pretty sure it's in here. Yeah, the cozy checkpoint system is for you're in the common room and you're deciding where you want to go, what you want to focus on for the next 90 days in your business. This is going to help you to assess which pillar is the most relevant and helpful for you right now. So you've got those two options. And then now I think I've closed the tab down that has nope, here it is. I've got a really simple, I'm trying to keep things really simple for you so we don't get in our heads, we don't overthink everything. I've just got this really simple focus flow decision map for you. So what's my current goal? It might not be any of these. You can tick it off. You can do whatever you want, or you can write your own. What do I think I need to do? Is there a step that needs to happen first? Am I still unclear? And then what's the smallest step that clears the path to what I want today? And even if you just did this once a week, it is going to help you so much get aligned with where you want to go. So I hope that that is helpful. Let me just summarize. Your focus flow point is the next clearing, not the finish line. This also comes back to when we're big picture thinkers, which a lot of us are, we can see the big picture. We can see where we want to be. We then think, because we can see all of that it needs to be happening right now, when the reality is that we just need to focus on one thing today, knowing that every day we make one little step forward, we're going to get to where we want to go. But we often think about where we want to go. We're holding the energy of that, which is amazing. It's exciting. But we get so overwhelmed by how far away we are from it. And that's when we start looking externally for answers, for what we think is going to get us there faster. When the reality is, if we can just focus on one small thing every day, one micro momentum step, we're going to get there so much faster than spending all this time overthinking, trying to decide what we should do and getting all this new information that just actually creates more overwhelm. It might feel small. It might feel stretchy. Some days your focus flow point is like, okay, I'm just going to send the email today. I send an email every week. It doesn't matter. It's super easy. I'm used to doing it now. Some days it's going to be doing things or doing something that you haven't done before. And so it feels uncomfortable, or it's something that's a little bit more visibility than you've been used to because you're expanding into the next level. So some days it's going to be easy. Some days it's going to feel small, and some days it might feel stretchy and outside of your comfort zone. And that is the ebb and flow of what we're doing here. Some days we're going to get into habits and patterns of doing, okay, I do this every single week. Every week I send an email. Every week I record a podcast episode. Every week I post on Instagram or whatever. This week, I'm launching a new offer that I have never launched before, and it's the stuff that I've never done before, and it feels stretchy. And that is okay. That means growth. That means you're moving forward. So it might feel small, it might feel stretchy, but it's always the one thing worth doing today. And it might change throughout the day. You might have started the day thinking you were going to do one thing and ended the day actually doing something else. And that is absolutely fine. Remember, we're being gentle with ourselves, we're being compassionate, and we are understanding that sometimes there are steps before where we think we are, that we need to do a little, one step forward. No, what is it? Two steps forward, one step back. We have to do a little bit of this to be ready for that, the next jump, the next leap. Clarity is not something you wait for. And that is the full key of the whole clarity course training. I wanted to summarize it for you in this so that you can just catch up really quickly. Clarity is not something you wait for. It's something that shows up when you start moving. So instead of trying to decide, is it best to do this or best to do that? Which platform is the best for me to be on right now? Which one's going to make the most money? Which one's going to be the fastest growing? Those questions are keeping you from taking any action. The answer is all of them and none of them. Everyone has had success. Someone has had success on every platform. Someone has had success with every format, with every, YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is, every business model. There are examples of people who have had incredible success. There are people winning every single day doing the thing that you want to do. And they are probably, they may not even be as good as you, as talented as you, as skilled as you. But the difference is pick one, know you can always change your mind, and know that it is these small steps forward every day. You're going to learn something new. You're going to grow a little bit. You're going to take a little step forward, and you're going to eventually get there. And one day you'll look back and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I was so overthinking that so much. I was so scared about that. I promise you, this is the difference. So find your focus flow point, check in each day, decide what you're going to focus on, and know that even just doing that small practice is going to help you move the needle. It's going to help you to see like, oh, well, that was a massive waste of time. What am I going to work on tomorrow? So we're learning by doing instead of waiting to have the clarity and the perfect answer right away. I hope that is helpful. Please let me know if you found that helpful.